This conference will now be recorded.
Once again, good morning everyone. Welcome for Web Application Security Engineer demo session. For the next 1 hour, I will detail you about the course curriculum that you people are going to learn in the coming days, followed by the question and answer session at the end of the class. In between, if you have any questions during the session, you are free to interrupt me and ask. If not, you can drop in a message in the chat box. Okay. So quickly about myself Vishwa. I'm an information security professional with a 15 plus years of experience. And below are some of the credentials like I'm a certified information system security professional, certified information systems auditor, certified data privacy solution engineer, AWS solution architect associate, AWS solution architect professional, AWS security specialty, Azure security, and ISO 27001 lead auditor. These are few of the credentials that I do hold during my tenure. So let's quickly jump into the curriculum that you people are going to learn in the coming days. So, so this is what you people are going to learn. So, as a security testing engineer, what is that you are going to do, and what is that you are going to learn? So, this curriculum is prepared in such a way that anyone, any layman without any knowledge on security can easily understand and can easily learn and cope up with the curriculum. So this is how we have prepared this curriculum. This start with very basic things like what is a web application, like how exactly it looks like, what is the functionality of the application, what is the architecture, what are the different components does this application has, and what are the technologies used. And then we'll get into what are the basic concepts of security. So as a security test engineer, what exactly we do? So can someone say what is security testing? I'm sure you might have done a little bit of Googling before coming to this session, like security testing and all. Can someone quickly say what exactly security testing is, or at least what is that you are expecting from this course? Just a quick 1 minute. Anyone? No one? Okay.
Hello, am I
Yeah.
audible?
Yeah. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm not very much sure about that, but as far as I know, the I believe security testing is nothing but identifying the loopholes of system
Mm-hmm.
and like finding the vulnerabilities, by which the system, uh, due to which the system can hack. That what I can explain as far as yeah.
Exactly. What you said
Okay,
is all
oh,
right.
sorry.
Yes, please. Please go ahead. Please
Yeah,
go ahead. Come on.
as if I know, as per my experience, the security is something like we did for authentication, authorization, and integrity. This is what we did. That is what I know.
Exactly. You are correct too. So generally, so every now and then we come across like in the news we hear that this particular banking application has been hacked and some millions of user information has been stolen by the hackers. Okay. This kind of information we'll see very regularly. Is there anyone who wants to answer? I see. No, it's okay. It's okay. No problem. So,
I want to say only one line about security testing.
mhm,
Each type of software testing to check the application is enable to handle the external threats.
exactly. Exactly. So whatever you people have said is correct. Okay. And let me tell you, let me brief what you have said. Like generally, hacking activities will happen Every day you will hear the news. If you search for hacking tutorials, hacking news, you will come across so much of information or so many news like this application has been hacked,
Mm.
that application has been hacked, some credit card information has been stolen. So as a security testing engineer, what is your responsibility or what is our responsibility is to make sure our application or our organization's applications are safe from external threats. Okay, nothing but we are securing the application. It is as simple as like we have built a house and we are building a wall, a 6 feet or 8 feet of wall across the house, and we are securing the house using a main door with the biometric locks or any physical locks, right? We implement all kind of security measures. Similarly, application will have some security controls, and as a security engineer we have to ensure whatever the controls has been implemented are fair enough, are good enough, so that this application will not be hacked. Okay, so that's about the security testing. And we'll start with some basics like what is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. We'll also talk about authentication, authorization, what is the difference between these two, and we'll start with the HTTP methods. Simply, whenever we are performing any action, so I opened Amazon.com, I've logged in. What will happen? A request will generate. It will have some HTTP methods. Okay, we'll learn what are the different HTTP methods and what is the response you will get. Okay, and what are the different headers. We'll also learn basic things, very basic things like what is a cookie, what is a session. Okay, and slowly we'll head into some advanced topics like cryptography, which includes encryption, encoding, hashing, symmetric encryption, followed by input validations, blacklist, whitelist, client-side validation, server-side validation. Slowly, as we progress day by day, as you cope up with regular jargons of security testing, will slowly progress on a daily wise. Okay, and then we'll talk about software development life cycle and the threat modeling. Okay, we talked about the threat. Now what is this threat modeling? So we have software development life cycle mechanism is there. Within this mechanism, where does threat modeling will fit into and how to perform this threat modeling, and we'll start with the main concept like security testing process and methodology. So it's not like that an application has been given for you in an organization. You can't simply jump in and perform secure testing to find out the vulnerabilities. There is a process we need to follow. So the industry standard or industry renewed methodology, will discuss that, and followed by SSL handshaking process. So this is nothing but if you open any application like, so whatever the application, you can see my screen, I believe, right? So whatever the application you see, we'll see this kind of things. Connection is secure. I hope you are seeing this, right? OASP web page.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. So this says that this connection is secure. Or else simply if I want to open anything, like if I want to open Amazon, okay, Amazon or whatever you want to open, it says, you see in the URL, whatever you see is https dot slash slash www.amazon.com. So what is S stands for? So immediately we
Security.
see yes, security.
Security.
If the moment we see yes, we believe okay, this application is secure. We can go ahead, we can log in, and we can perform some action kind of thing. What is this yes stands for? Okay, that is security. And how does it ensure security to the application? So that is about SSL handshaking process. We'll discuss that, followed by what are the different versions of SSL TLS, and then we'll jump into OWSP top 10 vulnerabilities. Like this is what we'll be doing. And if an application has been given to us, we will test for vulnerabilities. We'll test for flaws. Vulnerability is nothing but a flaw or a weakness within the application. Uh, Guys, if you are not speaking, I request you to go on mute. I can hear some noise. Thank, thank you. Oh my God, it's okay. So some
Sir,
of the
you.
vulnerabilities.
Mhm.
Let me
No.
see if I can mute. Let me see if I can mute.
Yeah, sir.
Most of the people are already in mute. Thank you for that. Thank you. So we'll start learning with some of the high and critical severity vulnerabilities. So the course is designed in such a way like an SQL injection vulnerability is there. So basically, if you want to learn anything, we need to ask ourselves few questions. Let's say we have this SQL injection vulnerability. So in order to learn, we need to ask ourselves these WH questions. So I'm sure everyone knows these WH questions like what is this
Yes.
vulnerability is all about? Okay, what happens with this vulnerability? Nothing but what are the consequences? Where, as a security engineer, where I can test for this vulnerability. And now, what are the countermeasures I need to take care? I need to suggest. So these WH questions are very much important. So every vulnerability will be explained like what is this vulnerability? What happens if application is vulnerable? So where I can test for this vulnerability? Like how can I test? How can I find out this vulnerability? And what are the countermeasures I need to provide? Okay. So application is having some vulnerability, some input validation issue. Now I'll provide the countermeasure like, hey developer, please ensure your input validation is perfect. So client server side validation, whitelist validations. We will not provide any code level fixes to the developers or the application team owners. We'll only say we have an issue at this particular position, issue with input validation, and ensure input validations are perfect. So how to validate the input? We need to validate some server side validation. We'll learn all these things, but every vulnerability we have to ask ourselves these WS questions, and I will train you in this manner only. Every vulnerability will have WS questions. Okay, we'll start with SQL injection, cross-site scripting, cross-site request forger. Please don't worry about this vulnerability. For most of you, this might sounds like weird or something new, but please don't bother. I'll make sure all these things will be explained in a simple manner so that it will be very easy to understand and practice. Okay, and we'll have practice sessions. I will, while explaining the vulnerability, I will show you with examples, and will give you some task for you to do at the homework, and we'll also ask you to share your screen and repeat what exactly have performed the steps, so that you will learn very easily. So these these three vulnerabilities are very much important. So if you master these three vulnerabilities, and the rest of the vulnerabilities are just a piece of cake, you can learn very easily. That's my assurance for you. Okay, and coming to next, so in the early classes we'll be learning about what is authentication and what is authorization. Now we'll learn here what are the different authentication related vulnerabilities are there. Okay, like credentials are transported over an encrypted channel, user enumerations, like default credentials, like giving guessable credentials or default credentials like admin or some weak passwords. So these vulnerabilities we'll learn as part of authentication related tests, and we'll have authorization related tests. We'll talk about the session management related vulnerabilities, and then we'll jump into configuration related vulnerabilities, followed by some malicious file uploads, and also we'll discuss about what are the different vulnerability scanners. So like say organizations will support you with vulnerability scanners that will help us to scan the applications to find the vulnerabilities. Okay, we'll also discuss what are the different scanners are available. Okay, and we'll have some hands-on classes on the burp suite. Okay, and like we have found the vulnerability, and then what is it we need to do? We need to report that vulnerability, right? So we'll prepare a sample report. Like I found some SQL injection vulnerability in so and so location, and what is the risk? Is a high risk, critical risk? It depends upon the criticality of the application. Okay, we'll discuss that i- with by preparing a report of the detailed report of the vulnerabilities. Okay, and some of the tools that we'll also cover. Okay, during our course of session. So this is the curriculum. Okay, I will quickly explain, take one vulnerability and explain you so that you can understand how these sessions are going to be in going forward. So before that, anyone has any questions on this curriculum? Anyone?
Yes, sir. Salim here.
Yes, Salim, tell me.
Sir, actually, this course will be only specific to the web testing, correct? Web security testing, correct? Not for any
Yes,
OS
yes.
level security or kind of thing.
No,
Huh?
no, I didn't get you. What is that you said?
So, see, there are a lot of things. Okay, so in our organization, they are also security team also scanning the OS also, like Linux server, Windows servers, and AX servers, using some
Yes,
tools. So, are we
yes.
going to learn that one also, or just only the website web security only?
No, Salim. Actually, cybersecurity is very big concept. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain that since that you brought up this question. Cybersecurity is very big concept. Within the cybersecurity, there are so many platforms. One is web application, mobile application security testing, network network security testing, web services security testing. Okay, and cloud security testing. Okay. Yeah, container security testing. Okay, and we have identity and access management. It's a separate team. Okay, we'll also have a team which will perform third-party reviews. Okay, third-party reviews, and we have governance, risk, and compliance. Okay, so all together, all put together, coined as cybersecurity. So for everything to enter into cybersecurity, the base thing is web application. Okay, so if you know
Okay,
web application
okay, okay.
security testing, so what is mobile application security testing? An
Mm-hmm.
application that we are accessing over Android or iOS, right? Okay,
Mobile.
if you know how to
Right,
test for
right.
a web application,
Mm.
so it's a different platform. You can learn about mobile
Uh,
application security testing, and these web applications or
mm,
mobile applications will be hosted in an environment, in a network. Okay, and that network has to be
mm,
scanned in
mhm,
network security testing.
mm.
So this we can make use of tools like
Okay.
Nmap,
Mm,
Nessus, Qualys, and so on.
mm.
These are done using the tools. Manual
Um,
efforts are very minimal here. Tools will perform, and only using manually using Nmap will verify whatever
mm,
the tools has reported are true or false. Okay, and we'll also have web services, cloud, container, and go on. So one
mhm.
after the other, it will
Okay.
come. As you gain experience in one platform, you yourself will shift towards the next platform.
Mm,
It's like it's like an opportunity. You know security, you know what is authentication, authorization, session management, all these things. It's only a different platform you need to
mm.
perform on. Okay, this is an entry point. Web application is an entry
Okay.
point for these things.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
this requires a trainer,
Okay, sir. Okay.
followed by this. Once you master this, you can learn all these things all your own. And don't worry about this. Don't worry
Okay.
about this identity and access management, third-party reviews,
Okay.
GRCs. These are different teams. They will only work mostly on the documentation reviews. It's a checklist kind of thing, audit kind of thing. Clear?
Sir, currently I'm working on, yeah, sir. Currently I'm working on PAM tool, Sabarak. So in which criteria
Yes.
it will fall, sir? On which
PAM,
thing it will
privilege
fall in?
privilege access management.
In
It's part of
yeah,
identity and access
IAM.
management. Yes, it's part of IAM. Okay.
It's,
Right.
yes. Okay. Okay. Uh,
Great. So anyone else has any questions before we take up one example of a vulnerability? We'll look after an SQL injection vulnerability quickly. Before that, anyone else has any questions? If not, we can move on.
and one more question from my side.
No problem. Please go ahead.
Uh, sir, can we give the CH exam by completing this course, or we need a different, like additional efforts to give the CH exam? Because this year my
S-
organization given a target me to complete the CH, then only my appraisal will happen.
So, certified ethical hacking course is a very basic certification,
Mhm,
but you need to undergo the training. There will be organizations. You can't simply go and write the examinations. Along with your fee, we need to you need to pay a certain
okay.
amount so that they will provide some training,
Mhm,
and that is very easy to crack. That deals
okay.
with most of, but then let me tell you, don't believe you have done a
Mhm,
CEH. That means you have got license
mhm,
to perform vulnerability assessment or to perform security testing on an application. That will only tell you about different tools that can be used and some basic examples, what is authentication, authorization, these things they will talk. And they will
mhm,
uh, uh, they will provide you so many tools for you to work. But then within an organization, if you
mhm,
work for a corporate, you will not get a license
mhm,
tool, and they will not allow you to install a single tool in your organization because considering the risk factor. Okay. So, but
okay.
CH is very easy to crack.
Mhm,
Don't worry. Okay, they'll provide the training for you. Okay.
mhm.
Okay. So,
Okay. Okay.
So before taking an example of one vulnerability, let me explain how exactly the application will work. Okay, let's say this is the user within the browser. He is browsing some example.com application. Okay, he's browsing some example.com application, and there is a login page. He need to provide he need to provide username and password here. Okay, now simply whenever user provides a username and the password, what exactly happens? It will go to, this is an app server. Okay, and this is a database server. Okay, so whenever user try to log in by providing the credentials, simply the request go to the application server, and application server will forward that particular request to the database server. Because this is a login page, the credentials has to be verified, so application server will send that to DB server. Now immediately what the database will do is, I have received a username admin. It will check whether username admin or some, let's say Bob. I have request a username on the Bob. It will verify whether that Bob exists or not. So if Bob exists, then it will cross check with the password. I have given a password like some random password I have given. So it will verify if the password matches, then database server will send the request back to the app server, and the app server will send the same request back to the user stating welcome user. Okay, or welcome Bob. This is how a simple request will work. Okay, now how the query will be generated. Okay, now I will explain you how the query will be generated. Now user is trying to log in. So here I can see like it's a Bob and some password, but the request what application server will understand, the request what database server will understand is it has to be an SQL query. So any request that is going to the database, it has to be an SQL query. Okay. Now I'll simply show you how a simple SQL query will look like in the login page. So once you give username and the password and hit the login button, simply this kind of query. Okay. Select star from user. Okay. Where username is equal to, okay, request dot username, okay, and password is equal to request dot password. So this simple query will be generated and it will be sent to the database server. Okay. Now I have given the username as request dot username is nothing but whatever you are getting as part of the request. Let's say Bob, and I given the password as some random value. So this is how a simple SQL query. This is very simple SQL query. Okay, select star from user where username is equal to Bob and password is equal to some password. So database will verify and it will say welcome user if the credentials are correct. Okay. Now with respect to this, what vulnerability we can test here? Okay. Now this request is reaching to the database server. So any vulnerability that will act on the database. So we need to test for that. So SQL injection is one such vulnerability. So SQL injection is one such vulnerability which will try to hack the database server and steal the sensitive information that is residing in the database server. Okay. Now quickly let me show you one simple example with a vulnerable application. There is a vulnerable application called demo.testware.net. This is a vulnerable application. This is this we can test for vulnerabilities. We can practice the vulnerabilities. There is a login page. Now I know the password is admin and username in the admin. I can log in. So it says hello admin user. So in the query, it will be like select star from user where username is equal to admin and password is equal to admin. Now what if I don't know the username and the password? What if I enter some special characters like this, okay, in the username and the password field? So what will happen? So in order to test for SQL injection, we will make use of certain payloads, okay, certain simple payloads, okay. Don't worry, you need not to know about the SQL queries, MySQL queries. So you just simply needs to know these particular payloads. Some order by, okay, and union select, okay. These queries are more than enough. Nothing much. Any organizations will not ask you to do nothing more than this, okay. Now in order to verify application is vulnerable, we can make use of this payload, single quote or one is equal to one hyphen hyphen, simple payloads. Okay. Now simply, what if I give this particular payload here, single quote or one is equal to one hyphen hyphen, I don't know the password, some random password. Again, you are logged in as an admin user. How this magic happened? So that is the beauty of an SQL injection vulnerability. Here what exactly happening is in the username field, what exactly application has to accept, how the username will look like.
It should be in
Choose
some
format,
character.
string format or
Yes,
alphanumeric format.
yes. So generally username will be like abc at the rate gmail.com, yahoo.com, or abc1234, some alphanumeric character, something like this. So no special characters. Now here what exactly happening is application is taking a query, a statement. Okay, I have given a statement, single quote or one is equal to one hyphen fn. I have given a statement and application is accepting that. Okay, Vishwa, fine, you said you are given single quote or one is equal to one hyphen fn. That's okay, but how come attacker is getting an user access for this? So what is the logic behind that? So magics will happen, but one needs to understand the logic behind that. So now let me try to explain this. Okay, the same query again, union select char from user where username is equal to Bob. Sorry, where username is equal to Bob. Instead of Bob, what I have given is single quote or one is equal to one hyphen hyphen. Okay. Now we have to understand what is single quote or one is equal to one hyphen hyphen. Okay. This is called as a Boolean statement. So dears, please understand this is called as a Boolean statement. Okay. This is called as a Boolean statement. Like you might have studied like this statement, true or false is equal to true. Do you know this? True
Yeah,
or false is equal to true. True or true is equal to true. False. What is false or true is equal to what?
true,
True.
True.
Mm.
False or false is equal to
False.
false,
False.
false. This is
Mm.
simple and or logic. Okay.
Mm.
And
Mm.
or logic is working here. Now, what I have given is I have given single quote or one is equal to one hyphen hyphen. Okay. So these single quotes are called as string concatenators. Okay. And hyphen hyphen are called as string. Anyone? String terminators. Okay. Now my payload is concatenating nothing but it is adding to this particular query. Okay. Now what is this? Or this is or statement. What is before or? An open statement and closed statement. Nothing but this is like a
true,
null.
empty. Yeah,
Okay. This is a null or an empty. Okay.
yes,
This is null or what is this? One is equal to one.
it's
It's a true
checking
or
All.
false.
the, it's true,
It's true.
True.
It's true.
True. Mm.
So nothing but this is a statement, a null statement or a true statement. So in either these conditions, this is a true statement. And
yes,
whatever comes after this called string terminators. This is also called as commenting. Okay. So whatever comes after this hyphen hyphen will be commented. So now this
Ah.
request goes to the database server. This request go to the database server, and it will say it will execute this particular query and see this is a true statement. So for every true request, there has to be a response from the server, isn't it? I'm querying something which is true, and there has to be a response from the server. So within the database, this is a username field, okay, and
Y-
I'm trying to log in. I'm trying to log in, okay, into this particular application. So now what exactly happen is, whenever you create a database, what will be the first record of the database? First record of the database will be of admins, and then admin will create the
Database
users.
record will be like ID.
No, no, no. I
uh,
mean, whenever you create the database users,
mm,
the first user will be admin. Okay. First, you will create an admin user, and admin user will
okay.
create the users. all other
Okay, default
users,
user.
default users. Okay. Now that is the reason why. That is the reason why
Okay.
this statement,
Hmm.
this statement in written is providing access to the admin user. Okay. Now can you say that Vishwa 1 is equal to 1 is equal to true and it is fetching the true record? What if I give 2 is equal to 2? Will it fetch the second record? No. This is
Mm.
simply a true or false. This can be anything. 1 is equal to 1 or A is equal to A, B is equal to B, whatever it is. This is just a simple, we are tricking the server. We are simply, what we are doing is we are trying to, we know that application is vulnerable to SQL injection. Now we are tricking the server by providing some true or false questions and getting access to the admin user. So this is one use case of a SQL injection. So generally what exactly happens with the SQL injection is consequences. This is called as consequences of SQL injections. Okay, like you can gain high privilege user access. High privilege user access. You can query the database. You can query the database and retrieve sensitive information. Okay, like whatever we can do using the SQL queries, we can do that. We can drop the table. We can add the table. Okay, we can manipulate the table. Everything can be done. So this is one use case. Uh, don't don't think much about this. Okay, don't think much about this. This is a very simple example I have given. So just remember this particular boolean statement like string concatenator, terminator, query is getting added in the SQL query, and or whatever this comes here will be considered as a null, and whatever comes after that will be considered as a true or false statement, and false or true is equal to true, and the user is getting access here. Okay, so this is one simple example of SQL query. Now you can ask like Vishwa, do we need to perform this manually, or can we expect any help from the tools to find out the SQL injection vulnerability? Yes, there are tools like SQL map, but we need to reduce our dependency on tools because your organization might not allow you to install these kind of offensive tools if you are working in a common environment, network environment. If you are working in a restricted environment where other users or other employees are not connecting, they might allow you to work on that. So first thing is we have to learn manually. Okay, without making use of using any tools, how can I find out the vulnerability? So demand will be more for people who can work without the use of any tools when compared to the people who master using tools. Okay, now what I will do is I'll quickly give one more example so that it will be very clear for rest of the folks. Like there is an application, one more application like test php web. Okay, we can use this application as well for our practice purpose. So what is that I'll do is I'll show you with the help of tool now how the tools work here. Okay, now simply here uh, we have this artist. Okay, within the application we have browse categories, browse artist. Within the artist, some artist name is there. This is the name of the artist. Now look at the URL, artist is equal to 1. Now is this interacting with the database? Does this have any interaction with the database?
No.
Oh, where the records will be
How we
saved?
can decide it, sir?
Uh, all the records. See, simply whatever, if you are querying for something, if you are
Hmm.
searching for something, all the records will be fetched from the database only,
Hmm.
right? So anything
Okay.
if you are querying, you
Right.
are searching, the record has to come from the database only. All the logic has to happen in the application server, and the records has to come from the database server. Now,
Hmm.
now this is our scope. Like when I click on the artist, all the
Sir,
artist users. Yeah,
I'm
please.
getting some background noise from, I think, Vinita or some other colleagues.
Okay. Let me mute. It's okay right now.
Yeah, now it's good, sir. Please continue.
I'll mute everybody. Anyone has any questions, you
Ah,
can
that
unmute
will
and
be
you
good.
can ask.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sir. Please.
Fine now. Okay. Hope I am not on mute. Can someone text me if you can hear
You
me?
are audible, sir. Yes, 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 sir.
I'm
You.
audible. Right. Great. Thanks
Yeah.
for the confirmation. Like this artist information is been fetching from the database server. Now, can I make use of any tools to find out this is vulnerable to SQL injection or not? Okay. Simply there is a tool called SQL map. Okay. There is a tool called SQL map. You can download this particular tool. Okay. You can download from here this particular tool. This tool works with Python. You need to have Python in your machine. So once you download this particular tool, go to that particular folder. Okay. So if you go to this particular folder, it is something. Let me share my SQL map. Hope you can see. Okay, this is something. You can see something like this. Like we need to run. It works with the Python. Like the command to run the SQL map is Python sqlmap.py, and we need to provide -u is the URL. We need to provide the URL that need to be tested for SQL injection. Okay, and what is the URL? This is the URL. Simply copy this URL and paste it here. Okay, it will done the job for you. Right now, it has scanned. Okay, and it has confirmed this has some Boolean based blind SQL injection. Artist is equal to 1 and 1 is equal to 1. It has confirmed that this is having the this is vulnerable to SQL injection. Okay, so like this also we can make use of these tools. Okay, and here one interesting thing you see. Let me copy this payload. It is saying that select sleep. So what is that we can also do using SQL injection is we can hold the response. Hold the response. Now I'll query this. Let's observe how much time it will take to see the response. See, did you observe? It took some time for us to see the response. Okay. Now it says sleep 5 somewhere here you see it is this particular query is telling the server, hey server, please hold for 5 seconds before sending the response to the user. So if I say 10 seconds, if I say 10 seconds, you can see here still it is moving. It will hold the response for 10 seconds and then we can see what if I give 100 seconds or what if I give some hours together. Simply that many hours you won't see any response from the server. So it's a kind of it's a kind of denial of service for the user, for the legitimate user. Okay, and what else we can do, what else we can do from here using a SQL injection. What else we can do here, like can we get any interesting information like the databases. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me clear. Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll try to do one thing. The same URL, I'll try to fetch. So database names. What are the different databases are there? And you see, we have got two databases. There are two databases available. Okay, accurate and information underscore schema are the two databases that are available. So what exactly this database will have? Now you know the database names. Now you know there are two databases. So what does the database will have? What database will have?
We
Tables
accurate
and
information.
records with tables.
Exactly, it will have some tables in the form of it will have some records in the form of tables. Let's take this particular database accurate. So the parameter is minus d ACUART accurate, and within this accurate I want to list the tables. Okay, hyphen tables. This will query the particular database, and you see these are the tables. 8 tables are available. So this is how attackers will steal the information. If application is vulnerable to SQL injection, attacker will try to gain access the database and he will query the database, he will steal the information. And what else, what further we can do? Now we know that there are some users. Okay, okay, we have a user table is there. What we do is like database accurate, and table, we got the table name, multiple table names we got. We'll try to query the user table, users. Okay, within the table, what we'll have within the table, we'll have columns, right?
Yes.
Simply this will list the columns of the user table. Okay, what are the columns we have within the user? We have column of, within the user table we have name, address, cart, some CC details, email, password, phone number, username. Okay, we can further query this. Like we know the users, and we also know the column. Let's take the column username, and we need to list the users. For that we'll use a list, will not work here. We'll use dump. Okay, and it says username is equal to test. Okay, similarly we can dump the password as well. Okay, we will dump the password. What is the password column called as here? PASS.
Pass.
Pass. So it says password is test and username is test. Right? Now let's go to this particular application and see if we have a login page. Where is this login page? Does this have a login page or not? Sorry. Sign up. Okay. Test. Test. Already here they have provided. Please use the username test and password is equal to test to login. But we have queried the database and got the details. Great. You see, you are able to log in. So similarly, attacker will query the database and he can retrieve whatever the information the database will have. He will retrieve the entire information, and what this information can be done. Simply this information will be sold in black market. Okay. So be it a credit card information, usernames, passwords, whatever it is, this will be sold in the black market. Okay. And again, it depends upon what is the intention of the hacker or attacker to do with the information what he has got. Okay, so is this clear? It's just a high level introduction considering the time frame I've explained. I've tried explaining very detailed. This might be a bit messy for people who are listening these kind of jargons for the first time. Okay, but trust me, you will learn beautiful things. Okay, and one more thing I would like to stress here is application security or a cyber security. This is one of the very hot jobs. Okay, I've started my career in 2008. From then, this is a very highly paid, or I can say it's a decent paid and very hot job in the market. recessions will not have any impact on this job. 2008 impact, not sure how many of you know the impact of 2008 recession. So probably if you are 1980s kid, you might have heard 2008 recession. If you are 1990s kid, you might not be knowing that. Recession will not have any impact because organizations wants to secure their applications. They are ready to pay millions and billions of the dollars to ensure their organization resources. When I say resources, they are applications, application server, database servers, email servers, everything are secure. Okay, organizations will not worry if someone stole some $1 million from their account. They are least bothered about that, but they are very much bothered about losing their customer data. Okay, business happens only using the customer data. Okay, that is the reason why this job will not have any impact on market recessions. Okay, technologies will come: PHP, Java, .NET, AngularJS, single page application. So many technologies will keep changing. So irrespective of the technology, the security remain the same. Whatever the technology you have used to develop the application, end of the day that has to come to a security test engineer to assess and verify. Yes, Mr. Application Owner, your application is safe. Then only that will go into the deployment, then only that will go into the production. So that is the beauty of an application security test engineer. Okay. Here we are not going to hack anything. Okay. But only thing is what we are doing is we are thinking from hacker's point of view and ensuring what are the different possibilities whether our application can be hacked and what are the countermeasures or what are the recommendations we need to provide our application team to ensure their applications will be safe. Okay, right. This is about the demo. If you have any questions, you can please ask or you can ping me in the chat box. I'll pick one after the other and try to answer everything.
Sir, what is the prerequisite to learn this, sir? Any prerequisite that you wanted to?
Right. So this does not require any prerequisites or your only interest levels. So I'm an MBA graduate.
Okay.
Assume you can understand I'm an MBA graduate from 2006
Mhm.
2008. I'm a management graduate. So out of my
Mhm.
interest in 2007 I started learning with the help of my
Mhm.
senior, and
Mhm.
2008 immediately after my college I joined an MNC in 2008. So this does not
Okay.
require any prerequisite because don't worry that do I need to learn any coding skills now. So it's good to have
Mhm.
the coding skills because to start with,
Mhm.
you need to understand the basic. But in order to
Mhm.
grow, you learn something new today. The same thing
Mhm.
will it help you after 3 years or the 5 years? No, right?
No.
You have to
Mm.
upskill yourself. So
Mm.
today SQL injection vulnerability is there. Tomorrow some other vulnerability will come. You need to learn what is that vulnerability is all about. That's it. Nothing more than that.
Okay. And another one is, sir, it's not a accurate question, but what will be the pay scale if we are going to, let's say, we are in different domain, okay? So if we are switching from different domain to this core security domain, like this web application testing and all other testing, so how much it will affect on our pocket, sir? Like,
Probably this is not the right platform to answer, but pay
yeah.
scale is
Mm,
much higher when compared to other domains which you are working. Okay,
mm,
and moreover, I am operating from India.
mhm.
Okay, the pay scale in India is different from the pay scale from where you
Yeah.
people have joined.
Mm, mm, mm,
Okay,
yeah. Mhm.
anything else,
Mm.
guys?
Mm.
There are some questions I'll quickly take up one after the other. There is a question from Mr. James. Hey James, do we need to be proficient in SQL to learn this? No, James, not at all. Not at all. Not at all required. Because our job is only to find out whether application is vulnerable to SQL injection or not. And trust me, organizations will not allow you to perform any in detail test cases. Like now, I've used SQL map to query the databases and retrieve some information. But then organizations will not allow you to perform because it might corrupt their existing database. Okay. So our job ends with saying that, hey brother, application is vulnerable to SQL injection. Please ensure to have proper controls. Okay, that's it. Uh, will AI take the place of AppSec, and is web application same as application security? Yes, application security, both the same. AI will not take up our position. Trust me, brother. Even AI has to be tested by us. Okay. If you are making use of any AI tool, if you are making use of any chatbot tool, before using
Mm,
that, that will come to a secure testing engineer and ask, hey
mm,
Vishwa, can you ensure this chatbot is safe to use? That has to be
mm.
security tested. Okay. Thanks a lot, Mike. Any other questions? Let me scroll. Yeah,
Just
please go ahead. Meanwhile.
one more question. So as you said, we will work on we will find the uh, SQL vulnerability that you said, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So what if there is a different database, let's say MySQL, Oracle, or is there MongoDB and
Y-
other database? Will it be work similar or?
yes. Yes, it will be the same. Be it an
Uh,
SQL injection, SQL database, MySQL database, Oracle database. The
uh,
process to identify an injection vulnerability will remain the same. We'll start with a
okay.
single quote or one is equal to one hyphen hyphen. If we get the proper response,
Uh,
it's all over. We'll report, brother, it's vulnerable to SQL injection, and it
okay.
is
So
critical. And it is critical.
uh, we will also learn to identify the which databases the application is working and kind of things, correct?
Yes, exactly. We learn that. See, I'll simply show that. What is the database it is using? I'll right away I will show that. Okay, now let's say this is there. This is interacting with the database. It has
Mhm.
posters. Now I'll give a single word here. So what is the database it is using?
Mm. SQL Server, okay.
Yes. So that is the
SQL
reason
Server.
why I
Mm,
said like we'll make use of a
mm,
simple payloads. I'll will make use of simple payloads.
mm,
Single quote or one is called on hyphen hyphen.
mm,
Okay. And order by command, union select
mm,
command. We'll make use of simple payloads, and this will work for all the
mm.
database, whatever the database they are using.
Okay.
Anything else, dears? Yeah, there are certain questions like Mike is asking, like it was said like 1 month course in the website. Now all of a sudden it's 2.5. So earlier, Mike, we have provided these sessions for 1 month only, but we have received some uh, a request from few students, and also we thought of training from scratch. So all the basic we thought from starting from the scratch so that everyone will understand. That is why we have introduced the tenure. You're welcome, Mike. Anything else, dears?
So what about the batches? Is there any weekend batches or this will be only daily batches?
This will be daily, Monday to Thursday,
Mm,
6 to 7,
mm.
same.
So is there any batch which is only Saturday, Sunday or kind of thing?
Uh, as of now, no, but you can get in touch with our admin, Valaxy
Okay.
admin. They can update you
Mm. Okay.
based on the
Okay.
request they might plan.
Okay.
In the chat box, you can see the details from Valaxy admin.
Yeah, yeah, I saw. Yeah, sir, I saw that.
So anything with respect to the payments, you can get in touch with the Valaxy admin. They will help out you and the timings, batches, payments, everything. Any technical
Yes.
information, anything you want to know, you can.
Vishwa, I have a doubt. Can you please open that notepad which you have written for the query?
Yes.
Here the user up to username I have understood. Then
Mm.
after there is a one more test that and pass equal to FSF something is there now. So
You're,
for
yeah.
password field also we need to inject the query, right?
No, not required. So you see what is this hyphen hyphen? These are called as string terminators. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing but anything that comes after this will be considered as comment. Okay. So
Okay.
the moment server sees this string terminators, they will not execute this query. They will not look after the password. Okay. Only
Okay.
they
If
will
the
see this. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. If the username is come to the true, then there is no validation needed for the password field. It will automatically
Exactly.
generate. Okay. That's what
Perfect.
we
Your understanding is correct. Yes.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. So just to add, every vulnerability you will learn from interview point of view. So you will learn the technicalities of the vulnerabilities, what kind of technical interview question that you can expect with respect to these vulnerability. So everyday classes will be interactive. Okay. I will. It's not like that. Vishwa will tell, and the rest of the students, the rest of you will listen. I randomly pick the students. I'll make you to share your screen. I'll guide you how to test for a particular vulnerability. And every day, starting 5 to 10 minutes, it will be an interview questions. What we have learned yesterday, and what is your understanding. So I'll ask some questions. So if you are not clear, we'll we'll try to learn the same topic again and again until you are clear. That is how it will be. You will be ready for the interviews by the end of the session if you put your efforts. Not 1 hour. If you put your efforts, not this 1 hour will work. Okay.
Yeah. Answer one more query regarding to the batches. Let's say if I join the batches, okay, and I continue for 1 month and post that due to some office work and the things, if I got shifted into the night or due to some meeting, I missed the lecture 1 week or 2 week. So what will happen, sir? I will receive recording or I will get a chance to repeat the lecture on next batch.
You will get the recordings to go through that. So
Uh-huh.
even after the recordings, if you have any questions, you will have our admin number, or once the
Mm.
group starts, you will have my number as well. Okay.
Okay.
We
Okay.
can connect and we can discuss.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Anyone else, guys? If you are good,
Uh, Vishwa, do you offer any other courses apart from this?
is it James?
Yes.
Hey, James. Uh, Valaxy as an organization offers other courses as well. You can browse the Valaxy website, so you
Uh-huh.
can get to know. It will be cloud, DevOps, and different other courses Valaxy will provide.
Okay.
And sir, we will
Thank
also
you.
get help to prepare the CV and all these things, correct? With
Yes, of course. I'll provide the assistance on what are the points that can be added in your CV to get
okay,
shortlisted.
so will it be a additional charge or it will include it the same amount, bro?
No, no, it's the same, brother.
Okay. Actually, I got this kind of experience in other organization. That's why I asked.
No,
Okay.
actually, we are not professional CV writers, right? To get charged.
Uh,
We'll assist you on what are the points. Basically, you'll be having your CV if you're already working. So, what
mm,
points, what kind of modifications your CV require from
mm,
secure testing point of view? Will
mm. Okay, all good from my side. Yeah. So when the lecture will start from, so we will get notification
uh,
or.
you'll get notification from the admin.
And this classes starts next Monday, right?
Mostly yes, but we need to get the confirmation from the rest of the students, and the admin will, can update you on this actually.
Okay. And then my other question is, from your experience, how many hours do you recommend we spend outside of the class in learning this
Yes.
subject?
Hardly another 1 to 2 hours is sufficient. If you listen to the classes carefully, and
Hmm.
if you can spend another 90 minutes to 120 minutes of your private time, then that is sufficient.
Okay. Thank you, Viswa. Great.
Most
Hello,
Okay,
welcome.
I have a question. I
hello,
have a
sir.
question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you, please.
Sir, I am 2018 pass out electrical engineer.
Hmm.
I
Okay,
am working in electrical background since 4.5 years. But
okay,
this job is field work job, and I
okay.
am founding the stable job in IT sector, and I want to join IT.
Okay.
Then how is possible to get this job, and how can I start my career in this field by security engineer? Is that possible?
Definitely, it is possible. So, because it doesn't require any prior technicalities to learn, so everything will be taught you in our regular classes. So, if you put additional 1 or 2 hours of your time, then it is very easy to get into an application security engineer profile.
Okay, sir. Is that any challenges in this that to learn any new languages or any codings, development? Is that in this course?
No, no, not at all required. As I said earlier, cybersecurity consists of web application, mobile, networks, everything. As part of that, there is something called secure code review as well. So, if you are going
Hmm.
for secure code review, there we need to understand, we need to know certain any in one technology, at least one technology. Not perfect, but at least we need to understand that particular technology. But we are not going to learn secure code review. All of us are, that's all a separate field again. There will be a separate team to perform secure code review. Application security engineer is not mandated to perform a secure code review. There will be a separate team for that. So no need to worry about that.
Okay,
To be
sir.
frank, I don't know any technology. I've never performed any secure code review in the last 15 years.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anything
Okay,
else,
I have
guys?
a question. Yeah, I have a
Yeah,
question.
please.
This Mike. This Mike.
Yeah,
I
Mike.
wanted to ask
Yeah.
after this course or this program, and if I'm applying for job, is it going to be entry level or senior role or something?
Uh, Mike, to answer your question, like whatever I'm going to teach you in the next 2.5 months, if you learn that perfectly,
Mm-hmm.
this will match. This will match you to an experienced guy who is already working on application security for 3 to 4 years. To that kind of expertise, I can match you. I can
Oh,
assure
good.
you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Sounds
Welcome,
good.
Mike.
Sir, any lab requirement from our side, sir? Any specific things like any VM or anything that required from our side or?
Mm, No, not actually.
Mm, mm.
We have vulnerable applications which we can simply browse and we can test that applications. So if at all anything is required in the class
Mhm.
only, I'll teach you how to install.
Okay, sir.
Only a couple of the tools that need to be installed, I can help you how to install, and certain dependency tools to run. Like I've installed SQL map that requires Python to run.
Sir, do we
Yes.
need
Yeah.
any particular OS platform to install the tools?
No, all the tools will work on Windows and the Mac, but I'm working on Windows. So if you're
Okay,
comfortable with the Mac, please go ahead. Does not There are no such requirements.
okay, sir.
So
Thank you.
only thing is while downloading, you need to download the Mac compatibility softwares. That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. So guys, if you don't have any further questions, we can wrap up. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
All good from my side, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Welcome, Salim.
Sir, someone asking to unmute him, but he not mention his name.
Uh,
Waiting for name. That's all I could see. Mm.
I will do one thing. Let me see.
It's Vijay.
Let's see if I can mute. Vijay, where is Mr. Vijay?
The first one, sir. His name is waiting for name. It's
Yeah.
showing like.
Let me check. I've muted everyone, but not sure why I'm unable to unmute now. I don't see that
Yeah.
option now. Crazy.
So Vijay, you can rejoin. I believe then you will get the option.
Vijay has raised his
Ah,
hand. Okay,
I
he
modded.
has changed the name.
Mm. Send unmute request.
Vijay, can you check if you can unmute yourself? Vijay, can you check now? No access. I allowed everyone to unmute. You should be able to unmute yourself. Is that the issue with anyone else or
I,
only
I think he need to
Vijay?
give
Can
access to
someone
allow
confirm?
members.
Unmuted confirm. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yes, yes, sir. We
Yes,
can hear
yes.
you.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know?
Yeah, sorry, now I can able to unmute.
Yeah, Vijay, tell me.
Sorry, because actually I joined very late. I was in another call, so I
Okay.
didn't see the complete,
Mhm.
session. So you can share the share the. I also drop a mail. Share the recordings. I will review. And my question is, I am from infra background, so as a cloud architect. So
Great.
this course how will be efficient? You covering CISSP or and do I need to know any program language like Python? Anything mandatory it's required?
No, Vijay. First thing is you will get the recording. Valaxy admin, if you send a drop an email to Valaxy admin, they will share the recording. This does not require
Okay.
any prerequisites, and we are not
Okay.
talking anything about the CASSP. First thing, let me tell you what is a CASSP. Okay, CASSP talks about the best practices that can be implemented across the organization. But here
Yeah.
we will only talk about the best practices that can be implemented from application point of view. So more or less, this will cover some content of the CSSP, but CSSP covers from entire organizational point of view. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. This is for cybersecurity for only for application or overall, like identity
No, this
protection.
is this is only for web application security. We are not covering anything IAM, GRC. Those stuffs are not covered here.
Oh,
So actually,
okay.
those are separate. I mean, completely different together. So
Okay. Okay. Understand. So I think if I see the recording, I'll get a clear picture.
no problem, Vijay. Just drop an email to the admin. They will share you the recording.
Yeah, I already dropped the email. So once I
Okay.
receive, I will review. And I will just quick session with you. And this one,
No
it is
worries.
only for session. In when will be the session going to start? The batch?
Uh, that will be announced by the admin actually. Maybe from next week only we can start. Again, it depends on the requests from the most of the students based on their availability.
Oh, okay. And this one, this all cybersecurity is not kind of cloud specific, right? So it is for cyber attack like golden ticket attack, password free attack kind of things cover, or
Yes.
kind of WAF, not
No,
kind of WAF, all those things.
not kind of the web. As you said, any password related attacks, all these things will be covered. All the vulnerabilities with respect to a web application. There is a standard called Open Web Application Security Projects. Okay, this will that will talk about the top vulnerabilities that need to be verified in order to ensure applications are secure from getting hacked. So we'll discuss those topics and followed by other different categories of vulnerabilities: validations,
Okay. Actually,
authentications, authorizations, managements, configurations. All these things we'll talk.
I'm currently using the DevSecOps only, like a Sneak and uh, uh,
Yes.
those
So
kinds of, yeah.
yes, generally as part of the DevSecOps, what might be you will be doing is you will be configuring a particular tool in the pipeline, and that will perform the
Yeah.
SAST tool, dash tool, and SEA tools. Okay, those will
Oh,
perform some tests and provide the results. But as part of the application security, we'll talk about the tools and also we'll learn how to identify vulnerabilities manually. So at an extensive level, tools will not cover everything. So manually we'll learn at an extensive level.
Yeah, actually, currently I'm managing the DevSecOps also, like Sonar Cube and Sneak kind of tool. So we
Mm,
configure the pipeline whenever we
mm,
write a code, Terraform code, and run the pipeline.
yeah.
Before writing the code, Terraform code itself, it scan and say if it's anything hard coded or anything password is present. It will not
Yes.
allow to merge these branches. So um,
Yes.
that's what I thought of. It is not like that, right? This is, I think.
So, thing is, hard-coded keys, hard-coded stuff. This is from code point of view. So it will scan this code. If you are making use of a tool like SonarQube, what exactly it does is it will scan all the libraries, all the files, and if it found any sensitive information, it will mark as hard-coded keys, kind of vulnerability. Okay. Now this is not from code point of view. This is from after building the application, after hosting. What is that we need to test? So this will also cover vulnerabilities like hard-coded keys, but from application point of view, not from code point of view. Anything else, guys? Or we good to wrap up?
Yeah, nothing from my side.
Thanks for confirming, Vanita.
Yeah,
So thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. You can get in touch with Valaxy admin for class details, fee structure details, duration details, and timings, everything. Galaxy admin will update you on that. Just you can drop him an email or you can contact them as well. So it was nice meeting you all. Have a great day ahead. Thanks everyone. Good day.
yeah, you too have a good time. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thanks everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.